Yeah, a long time ago. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man Black Cobra back once again with the Wheel Life Show. This has to be a record. My last few shows have been last minute, but this is super last minute. But I was having a conversation with none other than the godfather of EUC. So I figured we'd jump on here and have our conversation so you guys can check it out as well. So without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, it's the one and only Uncle Marty!
Hey, Erwin, I always feel awkward when you call me uncle. But,
Yes, yes, yeah, I'm about as old as Marty almost. No,
yeah.
I like, I think for whatever reason, Uncle Marty just fits. I don't know why.
Yeah,
You
I've got a few different nicknames, but I just roll with it at this point.
yeah, yeah. Well, you're the man, no matter what. You're the godfather of EC. So many people
You
look
see,
so many people look up to you, buddy.
I don't know why. Don't
Because-
don't look up to me.
Well, right now we might be looking down to you where you're sitting,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'm always. This is. I talk to everyone now. As, hey, how you doing?
it's funny that that double view you were doing on your camera looks a little different if you do it now.
Uh,
I meant to reach out to you a couple times because I was like, oh yeah, I got to do that. I said, and I haven't looked at the camera to see how you're supposed to do that, set that thing up, and I'm like, let me ask Marty, and I never do. I
what
never.
what depends on the phone you have, really, ultimately.
Yeah.
I have an Android, Samsung, and they have that built in where you can use both cameras, the front and the back at the same time.
Oh, I thought you were doing that with your Insta 360 because
No,
it
no,
has
that's
it
my
has
phone.
some little built-in thing where I saw it recently and it looked like that same emblem, like both cameras. I was like, oh, that's how he's doing it. Oh, so you were just doing it with your Android. Look at that. I
Yeah.
didn't even know. See, look at I didn't.
You
I
could
just
do
gotta.
you could do it with the Insta 360, but it'd take a lot of work because you'd have to process the video twice, different
Mhm.
views, and then combine them. Yeah, that's way too much work.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why I saw you. I was like, it must be like a quick, instant thing to do because it's enough work trying to get these videos and then edit them and
I
pump
know.
them out. And I'm like, I don't need no extra steps.
Right.
That's the reason why there's like tons of videos I never made is because the I love my 360, but you do have to sit down and edit that too. And I'm like,
I
so
have about I know I have over a terabyte of videos in the
yeah.
can, and I'm just now starting to feel physically and emotionally and everything
Hmm.
good to maybe start editing because it really
Yeah.
takes you out. My accent really took it out of me. Uh,
Yeah.
it's amazing how physically draining it can be
Yeah.
for a while.
What would you say is the biggest surprise? Well, first of all, I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't know, but if you don't know, tell them what happened, Marty. Just give them the rundown on the story real quick.
All right. Well, Begode, my favorite company of all time, and wink, wink. But no, I love Begode.
He said
They,
wink wink.
but I had from the UC Underground from Liam. He gave me an eight, didn't give me, but loaned me an 8.6 that he got an early, very early version before they really started shipping them, right? And it had a knobby tire, and I was showing
The
her on, and I
wait, the A2?
yeah,
You
A2.
you said A6.
Oh, I did. Okay, A2,
I
A6
was
is next
I,
year.
I was like, what wheel are you
Okay, yeah, A2. So I wasn't just, I guess for that wheel, I wasn't a fan of the knobby. It worked. I took it up a mountain. It
Mm-hmm.
worked great on the trails, but on the street, But anyway, the goat got wind of it, and I guess they ultimately decided that wasn't part of the plan. Apparently, was never to have a street tire on that wheel. But it took them a couple weeks to, I guess, find a tire that would fit, and then they reached out to me direct and said, "We'd like to send you one." And I was very tempted to say, "Could you send me an Extreme instead?" Because let's face it, the A2 is not like in my wheelhouse. It's not like, oh man, I really want an A2, man. That's such a killer wheel, right?
Oh, excuse
But
me.
I said, I was a diplomat and said, yeah, cool. It'd be nice to, So they airshipped it out to me,
Nice.
and
Nice.
so Friday, July 14th, a day which will live in infamy for me. Uh, I walked out to get the mail, and there was a box sitting out there. Didn't even know, you know. I think they might have sent me a tracking number, but I didn't. How those Chinese tracking numbers go. So yeah, so wow, it was A2. So I pulled it out, sent some pictures of the new wheel, all excited, and I charged it up. I put air in the. Well, no, I didn't charge it. It was basically at like 90% charged, but I put air in the tire, and I changed the tilt of the pedals just a little bit because they were kind of flat,
Hmm.
and took it out for a ride. Like five. It's probably like 5 to 6 o'clock in the evening. Beautiful weather here. It was just beautiful, mellow day, and put my wrist guards on, my knee pads on. I didn't put my helmet on because I was just gonna tootle around the neighborhood, just mellow speeds, and took it up to 20 or so a couple times and felt great versus the knobby. I was didn't ride very well for me at higher speeds. So, but most of the time is 10 to 15 miles an hour, just going around my neighborhood.
And
And
that was right when you got it, huh?
yeah, that was the first ride.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe that it's your very first ride, and that's
Was
what
it?
happens.
Well, was it your Monster Pro first ride too?
No, no, my
Oh,
Monster
what? I
Pro.
thought.
No, I had ridden it two little rides, like real short rides, but I had ridden it twice, and that was my third time riding it.
Oh,
And
okay.
I had already ridden around the park, gone through up and down hills. I was having a blast, and then whoop. So
Now, remind me on yours, was the symptom it turned off or was it,
yeah,
did it,
it no,
so
it just
like,
died instantly. Like the lights went
so
out.
just like mine then, it turned
Yep,
off.
yep.
Did it turn back on?
No, yours turned back on.
Ah, okay.
Mine never came on again.
So at least for you, you knew it was a control board.
Yep, yep. But
For
the way
me,
that
yeah,
the way mine went though, it didn't. There was no signs or symptoms of nothing. You
yeah,
know how you can
just
normally tell, or maybe there's a burn mark, or there's a something. Or
right.
nobody can figure out what happened. It just died.
So the board, even after the fact, the board looked great. Everything just
Yep,
but dead.
yep.
Yeah,
They
this
couldn't figure it out. We sent them the board separately and then the wheels separately, and they said they couldn't figure out what happened.
well, maybe we'll get to this a little bit, but I'm not surprised at that. Uh,
So
I'll
go ahead,
give
continue.
you a little story on that. But
Uh
so yeah, a few blocks as the crow flies from my
huh.
house. Just I mean, I was just again just kind of looking at the houses, and I think I was probably going 15 miles an hour, maybe even a little less, and then just boom, it shut off. Just and I fell backwards. I wish I suspect if I'd fallen forward, if I had the option, probably
Right.
nothing would have happened. But I think so. My little prop here, my wheel prop. So I'm riding, and I think basically it just when it shut off, I was on the back weighted, and so it went back and I think I was slowly going around a car parked on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I was probably a little tilted. And I think when it shut off, it just tilted back and twisted like that.
Hmm.
And the power pads on the A2 are not power pads, you know. So people say, "Oh, your feet were locked in." They were not locked in. It to me, it's just this mass twisted and turned so quick that in a way my foot just couldn't get out of the way.
Uh,
And so I fell backward. It was painless, by the way, which if anyone's worried
uh,
about how painful it is to break a leg, it's not painful actually at the moment.
yeah.
I didn't
Not
feel
what?
I
Not.
didn't feel I didn't feel anything. So I fell back, landed on my butt and my hands, but I had my wrist
Mhm.
guards on, so nothing else hurt. But as I was falling back, I was twisting, and I could see almost in slow motion my feet and my legs in front of me,
Mm.
and my right foot was like turned 90 degrees.
Mm. Mm.
So,
Mm.
and then my legs, yeah, and then my
Mm.
legs hit the ground. So
Mm.
I knew just intuitively at that instant this was not good, and I didn't move. I was like frozen because you know I get the EBGBs or whatever, thinking of my
Yeah.
foot like that, and I was like, oh God, I don't want to move. But I could tell just trying to move my leg a little bit that it was like a floppy dead weight at the end of my foot,
Mm-hmm.
right? So leg, and
Yep.
that was the start of the adventure, and that's the short
Woo!
of it.
Well, it's funny, you fell back. When mine died, I fell forward. And
Yeah,
yeah.
you might have been accelerating a little bit, maybe, or I think
Yeah,
you said you weren't actually you
I
just
had
got out of the
just
move, right?
yeah, just put
Yeah,
my other foot just touched it. Like
yeah,
literally I was just put my other foot on it. As soon as it touched it, it died and whoop, I went forward and like you said, the break itself didn't hurt. I didn't I didn't feel anything. I went
five
down.
minutes, 5 minutes, five
Yeah.
minutes later, though, right?
Yeah, I went down and I said to myself, okay, that was a really hard fall, right? And
Right.
I said that sucks. And I'm like, and I was instantly angry because I was like, what the fuck happened to my wheel? Like it's brand new. I don't understand. And when I went to
Yeah.
get up to look at the wheel, my shoulder dropped and I was like, oh,
Uh,
oh, oh. And it was shattered. Mine was like shattered. So I'm gonna try to pull up. Let me see if I can share. I think I can share. Right, there we go. If you guys can see here, that's the A2. That's the Begode A2. That's what Marty was riding at the time that gave out. And as you can see on the sides of the wheel, because Marty, you had just gotten it, so you all you had was the sides of the wheel, the little bumps that they have on it, the little pads. so
yeah, which
so there's
that's really all you need for that wheel,
yeah, so
actually.
there's no power pads, no
No.
locking in. It's just those little bumps that you can see on the wheel right here where his leg can go in between these two and behind this
Yeah.
one. So
Right.
yeah,
Again, I just think I have a feeling if it was a bigger wheel too,
yeah, you'd have
it
been all
made
right,
it
I
prob
think.
right because I don't think the wheel would have twisted because of the mass of the wheel that wants to
Yeah.
kind of go straight. I
Mhm.
one you never know.
Yeah,
Uh,
you don't
yeah.
know. But I do want to I kind of real quick want to make mention. You said you had a whole lot of a terabyte of videos in the can. Roger goes,
Yeah.
Roger said I've watched terabytes of Marty's videos on the can.
Uh,
and
thank
and then
thank you, Roger. I really appreciate that.
and then Primo said he said, oh man.
Oh,
Um
God.
he said, Wormtown up in this piece. What up, Cobra? What up, Marty? The bionic shoulder meets the bionic ankle.
Yeah. Right. If only I had a bionic ankle. I
Yeah,
wish.
I've been saying that ever since I got hurt, Marty. I even told the doctor that in the hospital. I said, so it's gonna be you gonna hook me up, right? he said,
Yeah,
he said, what do you mean? I said, because it's gonna be bionic now, right? Because I mean,
yeah,
we have the technology, right?
exactly.
I seen the
We
show. You can
we
rebuild
grew
him,
up.
right?
We grew up. We watched that $6 Million
Yeah,
Man.
yes, that was the show. So I was like, you have to give me a bionic shoulder. You have to. The doctor laughed. He's like, unfortunately, I can't do that.
uh,
I said, what do you mean? I don't understand. Why can't you do it? I know you have it. He just, yeah. So it is what it is. So then you were
so late.
saying,
Well,
uh,
so later that night,
yeah.
ultimately when I got home at about 3 in the morning, they just put a temporary splint on. So in
Mhm.
the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh, you get a broken bone, they do the surgery when you get there, right? No, no,
No.
no. I guess only if it's like poking through your skin, I think, will they do something, right?
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, so I asked my wife to turn on, when we got home, hey, could you press the power button on the wheel? And I was just curious, and it turned on, and I thought, that was, I knew that was just a bad sign because if it turned on, then what the hell happened, right?
Hmm.
So I ultimately gave the wheel to Roger. I, I think I still own the wheel. I'm not sure what I'm going to. I'm never going to ride. I will never ride that wheel again. I won't ride it. I don't. I don't. I don't, I don't care. Uh, but Roger has it. Then Roger and Don, you might have. They put out some videos where they were
Hmm.
testing the wheel. They were doing speed runs with it. I told them don't ride the wheel, and
And
I
you were
think
like,
Roger still rides it. I think in his shop around, and it
you,
actually
you
with the street tire. By the way, it's a beautiful riding wheel now. I loved how the A2 rode with the street tire. Uh,
so you
but
must have been like real nervous watching Roger and Don ride it.
yeah, well, in the back of my so in one aspect, I'm thinking I don't want it to fail because I don't want them to get hurt. But another side of me says I hope it fails because then it would show something. Maybe we'd learn something, right?
Hmm.
But no. And Roger took the wheel apart. He took the battery apart, inspected it. There's nothing he could find. And now here's the story with the goat. So I I've pretty much known this for all these years, but you don't really know. But they don't really. The only thing they do in house is the firmware.
Hmm.
They don't do the electronics. They're an assembly shop. Okay, so
Yep.
I'm sure they I'm sure they designed the shell, all that kind of stuff. But the electronics, the motor, they farm that out. So, and here's evidence. Okay, so and they've reached out to me multiple times, and I don't have a grudge against Begode. I still like their wheel. I just lightning hit me. What can I say, right? But they've they've reached out to me. They've been very nice. They call me Elder Bro.
Elder Row. Okay.
I get these messages. Hi, Elder Bro. We hope you do better and your feet recover. Stuff like broken Chinese, but it's always Elder Bro. So,
Well,
um,
Roger says that
but
it must have been user error.
yeah, I'm pretty sure of that too at this point. So at one point, they reach out and they say, we're looking into this. We're trying to find out what could have happened, and we uh, we think that this diode may be a problem in the BMS and the battery. Okay,
Hmm.
and so they send very clear pictures with
Hmm.
circles. This diode, no, so there's no communication problem, right? It's not. They didn't tell me some diode, and I looked at the wrong diode. No, it was very clear. So Roger, the good man he is, he played the game. He said, I don't think that's has anything to do with this, but he took the battery apart again.
Mm-hmm.
He located and I think I posted a little bit of his video. He had a microscope, so he highlighted the diode and
Right.
looked beautiful, and it was on the BMS. So then Roger says, "Well, okay, diode looks beautiful. Now I'm going to remove it and then ride the wheel." just to validate that the diode
It
has
wasn't that.
nothing to do with it. Has to do with the charging, and even then you can still charge the wheel. So it's a safety. It's probably a protection associated with reverse current, reverse power being applied to the battery, maybe something like that. So he removes the diode, puts the wheel back together, and goes riding around. He's probably still riding in that configuration. So that just proves that at Begode they have the best of intentions, but here this is what was happening at the factory. You had a few guys sitting around looking at one of these boards, and they said, "Hey, what's that black thing? Maybe that's it. Ask him to take a look at that." If they had engineers who actually designed the BMS or the electronics in general, if they were actually at the factory, they wouldn't have done that. They would have said,
Right.
they wouldn't have even looked at that because they would have known that has to do with the charging. It has nothing to do with
Right.
the power being applied to the. So, and in a way, it bothers me that best of intentions, but they're just throwing darts at the wall, and it's not a trivial amount of time to take a wheel apart, to take a battery apart, to take the BMS apart, to look at this diode, right? Just because they were wild ass guessing what was wrong. So all you guys out there, you should be under no illusion that they know anything about the actual electronics in their wheels. They don't.
Yeah.
They spec it out. Some other company makes it.
They assemble it, like you said.
They assemble, and then I'm pretty sure they write they write the firmware. So that's that with that.
It is what it is,
So Don nicknamed that wheel the assassin wheel. So that's what I call it. The A2 is the assassin wheel. So I gotta see what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to donate it to someone that I don't like.
Well, I want to tell you, Marty, to send it to me. I'll take it. But since I've already crashed, I don't think I want a wheel that has already crashed with you too.
I'm not going to send it to you, and before I give it away, I'm going to engrave somewhere the assassin because I want to make sure that in the future, if I do hop on an A2, I'm going to look to make sure it's not my A2 that I'm hopping on.
Well, you better engrave it somewhere they can't change it because they'll just change the side pads.
Oh yeah, I'll engrave it into the motor, a couple places.
Yeah. So Mickey's here. EVX, what's going on, Mickey? And he told me, he said, "Cobra, go to bed. You got to drive out here tomorrow." I'm driving out to Long Island, New York, which is like 2 hours and 40 minutes away from me. And I'm going to the Electrify Expo tomorrow. I'm excited about that.
When does it start?
I don't know if it's 9 or 10 it starts.
Oh, wow.
I got to look.
You are going to have to get up early.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave my house at like 6 a.m. I think, if it all works out, we'll see. Because I'm going with my daughter, she's about to go away to college, and somehow I convinced her to go with me tomorrow. It's like she's going away to college the next weekend, so.
Oh, that's nice. That's going to be one of your last road trips, probably. How that goes.
Yep. So I'm like, all right, let's see how it goes. And then on top of it, her regular move-in date was the weekend after that, which is the 2 days of the Wheel Life Rally. So the rally that I've been planning all year
Yeah.
is they had the same 2 days for her to move into college. I'm like, are you kidding? So I can't not be at my own rally. So
Yeah. Yeah.
my wife and my son are gonna move her in. But next weekend she has volleyball tryouts. She first she said she wasn't gonna play for college. She said, "Oh, I just want to focus on school." I'm like, "Yeah, but they may pay for some of this school." So,
Yeah. Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Shit, this is expensive as hell." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yo."
You're gonna sign up and start playing volleyball.
Yeah. So she said, "All right, I'll try out." So she finally decided to try out. If she gets on the team, they'll let her move in next weekend, a week early.
Ah,
And I was like,
interesting.
I said, "Oh, that's pretty cool," but I can't get the day off of work. So,
Uh,
I'm trying to get somebody to swap with me, so my captains might swap with me. We'll see. But there's nothing I can do about it. It's like every day seems to be like a shitty choice, and I'm like, how did this happen? That they happen to have it at the exact same time.
I
Um,
know.
but I always seem to have those issues every year.
Well,
So it,
you can maybe you could fake an injury with your captain and
yeah, yeah. I was definitely thinking about it, but I'm not the only. Like other people have done that, and I'm like, nah. We just had somebody
yeah,
do that and got in trouble. I was like, nah. I had to yell at him. I don't want to do the same thing.
yeah.
So I said, all right, I'll behave. It's just tough, you know. She's my 18-year-old. This is my middle child, so I got one more to do the same thing 2 years from now. But
Well,
I'll be in your boat, Marty. I'll be retired then.
cool. Yeah, nothing like retirement.
I
Yeah,
can't wait. I can't
and
wait.
then a benefit of retirement, a little benefit is if you break bones when you're retired, at least you don't have to go to work. You know, that's one less hassle.
Yes, this is true. Definitely one less hassle. I'm looking at the site now, trying to see, but it doesn't tell me the time. But anyway, I'll figure that out. Doesn't matter because I'm gonna if I leave at 6 and get there by 9, then that'll be it. And we finally have a booth this year, Marty. I don't know how that worked out, but last year I was at the Electrify Expo and suspiciously there were no electric unicycles and no one wheels anywhere. And I was like, these things are out here.
Wow.
Why don't we have
Yeah.
someone representing?
Wow.
No
Even at
one.
one wheel, I would have
Yep.
thought one wheels would have
One
been.
wheel. That's what I thought. I said they're huge. They've been around for a while, but nope, not one. Not one booth, not one vendor, not one wheel. I was like, this is terrible. The only thing I saw inside was one of the one of the booths where the guy had he has an electric car, kind of a buggy, and it had independent suspension on every wheel, and so they were showing how it can roll over anything. It was like a moon buggy, really. But at
I think
that
I
booth,
saw that
yeah,
that's made in. I think it's in England, is
yeah,
where or Europe or France. France, I think.
it's really cool. It was really fun to
Yeah.
drive. But that guy at that booth had a V8 that he was tooling around
Ah.
on. And I
Okay.
said,
Cool.
"Oh, I finally got somebody got one." So anyway, this year, um, Mono Rides, Paul from Mono Rides has a booth there, and I don't know if he's the only one, but Mono Rides he does repairs and stuff, but he has a booth there. So I was excited about that. So congrats to Mono Rides. I don't know if he was the first, but I know he's the first I know EUC content or equipment or anything to do with EUCs that will be in the actual expo itself. So I'm hoping to see more. I'm hoping that there's more
Okay.
there than just him. But
Are
I
you
will.
are you are you like are you participating or are you just going to walk around?
No, I'm just going to walk around, but I'll be doing some interviews and stuff. I'll have the rally shirt. I'll have a few with me. He wanted me to bring a few to the booth so he could sell them. So I'll just have a handful of them. And I'll be trying to represent the wheel life, trying to get more people to know about it. So I'll be
Right.
interviewing interesting things that I see, and probably record some videos, and then make some some videos when I come back. I might go live a couple of times. I'm probably gonna see my buddy there, Ginger on Wheels. I saw him last year.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and
Because
he was like,
he's based in like I forget Washington, Oregon.
yeah,
I
I
think
don't
probably
know.
Washington.
I don't know why he
Huh.
came all the way to this one, but he did. And soon, I didn't know it was him. As soon as he saw me, he's like, "Hey, Cobra!" And I was like, "Oh, he looks familiar." He's like, "I'm like, isn't that?" He's like, "Ginger on Wheels." I'm like, "Oh my God, what's up?" So
That's funny.
and so him and I did a little quick video together, and then we did. His sister recorded it, and it was pretty good. He's a nice guy. I really like that guy. So hopefully we'll do another video this year. If I don't know if you're going, man, but if you are, see you there. Um,
To where?
to the Electrify Expo. I'm talking to the camera. I was
Oh,
so
I thought you were talking to me.
no,
I'm not
I
going there.
I know you're not going, Marty.
Okay, okay. I I fi- I forgot that there's a few other people watching on me.
Marty's like, "Oh, we're just talking."
Yeah, I know.
Like we are, but there's other people listening. But yeah, there it should be good. It should be good. Oh, 10. Thanks, Mickey. So it starts at 10, so I can actually leave at 7. Yeah,
Yeah, all
give me
right.
time to
All
eat.
right.
Give me time to eat and relax a little. My daughter was like, "Oh my God." So,
Yeah,
matter of fact,
that's funny.
I'm gonna tell her, text her now, and let her know, "Hey, we can leave at 7." Um, although it's New York, we hit traffic. You know what? No, because we'll hit traffic and stuff. I know it. I'm just gonna still try and leave at 6. And
Where does is it actually? Is it like in Manhattan?
no, Long Island, New York.
Long Island. Okay.
Um, Roger says Electrify Expo was in Long Beach last year, and Yuko was doing EUC lessons. Sweet. So it was just here in New York we didn't have it. At least if Yuko was there last year, I'm very happy about that. Thanks for telling me that, Roger, because I was really upset and I thought it was really suspicious that there was just no EUC, no one wheel at all. I found it really odd. So I guess it was just nobody up here decided to get in. So
And people still tell me or comment that yeah, EUCs are going to take over, man. Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's still so niche.
yeah.
Um,
And
and
until they make it more or less
it
able to do what's happened to both of us, unless
it's
unless they
yeah,
figure
but
out a way to make
that's
him less fallible. I don't know.
it's. I'm afraid to break it to people, but I think it's always going to be niche,
Yeah.
and to be honest, I kind of like it to be a part of a
Mm,
you know
yeah.
small group of people, right? I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
my my wife tells me that she's like, you just want to be everybody's saying something about. I said, yeah, I do like when everybody's like, wow, what is that? I said,
yeah.
I do
Who
like it. Who
doesn't?
who doesn't? I was right. I'm like,
Well, you want to be just like a regular, just like a bicyclist or something? Yeah.
right. I'm like, am I supposed to feel bad because I enjoy telling people about it? She's
Now,
like,
here's a little anecdote along those lines is when we do group rides, we and we're in the suburban area, we'll safely, but we'll blow through a lot of stop signs, right?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, and so the comment has been made, and I've thought about that in my mind too. If UCs ever get really popular, there's going to be a lot of accidents start happening because people could be blowing through both stop signs on both sides, right? They're going to be,
well, the good thing is that we look. I mean, it's not like we just go through them. Normally, if I go through a stop sign or a light, I've already slowed way down and I've looked everywhere and taken in all the possibilities, and then I go through. I don't just barrel
well,
through
yeah,
because I'm scared.
we,
I'm scared to
we
just
don't,
barrel through.
I think you do better than us. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times we're not slowing down that much. because we're figuring cars are going to be stopping, motorcycles will stop. Bicyclists don't go that fast. But in the future, there'll be two EUC riders going 35 miles an hour blowing through the stop sign.
You're like, what happened? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said I got my little prop too.
Oh, yeah. We both. I have two. This is a Mask gave me this. This is an EX30, one of my favorite wheels.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I have a M10-4 that's hanging in my truck. So cool.
I
These
got
this is
the
a
little
these things are they're amazing.
yeah.
They really
This is
are.
my little collector. Now I gotta collect some more. So
I
I need
should.
a the wheels I have. I need a Commander Pro and a Master.
I yeah. Well, I should do that too. But then I'd probably have to spend about $300 to get them
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, to get all the wheels you got. Yeah, Marty, you would be spending about that much.
I haven't been out to my workshop. I haven't visited any of my wheels in a month now. So
Yeah.
I gotta force myself to get out there to
Yeah.
maybe charge some of them and make sure they can turn on. And I don't
Well,
know.
you gotta
I
feed them. You don't have to pet them,
Yeah,
but you gotta feed them.
right. Well, I gave Dawn my Commander Mini so she can use it for a while and
Yeah, I really want
keep
to try.
keep
I really want to try that
keep
one.
that. That I really like the Commander Mini.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's depressing. Not and I know you can relate, of course, and all the other people who've been injured out there. I really miss riding. It's
Hmm.
sad. And this is summer. I had so many I had so many plans for I had these awesome I loved going out in the mountains and doing long 90-mile rides, and I had so many rides planned, and it's gone because when I get back on the wheel, it's going to be winter approaching, cold up in the mountains, rains will be starting, and
That don't
oh
matter,
well.
Marty. Listen. That's the other reason why I wanted to talk to you honestly is because I remember when I went through it. It is depressing for us who love to be out on our wheels. When you get injured and you're sitting at home and you can't ride, it is depressing. And and I didn't want you to fall into that funk, Marty, because it can happen, and it. It's not a good feeling, but it like you just said, it'll be winter. You won't care. You won't care when you can ride again. You're gonna ride. You won't care. You'll be like,
I know.
I'm just gonna go real quick. I'm just gonna go
Well, and and what one must remember that winter in Southern California is, it's not really winter.
it's not real winter, right?
No,
You
but
you
for
say,
us, for us, it's going to be in the 50s and 60s. It's kind of
oh,
cold.
oh, the winter wink wink. I'm like, come
Yeah.
on, come on. Shouts out to Wilson. What's up, Wilson? I see you, buddy. um, so Christopher Lee, he said Marty Backe is so bummed about you getting hurt and gonna miss you this year at the Amped Electric Games. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss him too. I was already telling him how upset I am. He's not going, but it's all right. And the other thing, Marty, you know what happened, right? I told you
What?
I extended the day so that I could go and ride with you. I got another day, and I was gonna do that at AVS too. I'm like,
AVS. Well,
yeah,
but we'll be, no, but AVS is in November, right?
yeah. So you think you'll be up and running by then?
Unless,
Say yes,
I mean,
Marty. Be
well, yeah,
positive.
I mean, no, but I'll never know until I get this cast until I'm actually starting walking. But all indications are, yeah, my tour is still going on, and I'm going to be out of the walking boot by the end of September. So then it's just going to be a question of how strong my ankle
Yeah,
feels,
yeah,
that which I don't know. But
yeah. You
my
can't
tour
do.
starts October.
You won't be able to do off roading and stuff like that and whatever.
I'm guessing not, but no.
Yeah.
October 14th, my tour starts. We're still having it. Got
Hmm.
a great community of local riders who are supporting the whole effort. So my I will be on at all the rides. I'm not sure if I'll be able to ride all the rides, but we're going to have stand-ins that can guide
Yeah.
those particular rides for every day. And by AVS, absolutely, I'm going to take you up Mount Baldy. It's going to be the most glorious ride you have ever taken. And I don't I'll loan you my A2. You can, you can,
No, you will not.
but I'll have a wheel of your choice. You can ride, and
Yeah,
you'll no definitely going. We're going to do that for sure.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was looking forward to that, and I actually, even at Amped, I honestly thought I did take an extra day so I can stay there and do it. Excuse me, because last year at Amped I didn't get to do any of the rides. When it
Right.
was while the rally while the Amped was going on, I was busy, announcing and stuff, and then I didn't get a chance. I wasn't there a day early, and I wasn't there a day after, so I couldn't go on any rides. And I'm like, nah, this year I'm gonna ride. So um, I'm excited about that, and so we'll move forward one at a time. But I also wanted to give a shout out to EUC Vibes. What's up, Tommy? he said
Hey,
he says
Tommy.
he says feel better, Marty. Feel better.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate the support for the whole community. I've got so many people reached out and really
Yeah.
warms my heart. I really do. And it's overwhelming, really, the amount of good wishes I've gotten. So it's amazing, really. Uh,
Yeah, it feels great. And I felt the same way because I guess for us, usually you don't really sit still long enough. You're always doing something. You're always riding. You're always making a video. You're always doing this. You're always doing that. But when you get hurt, you gotta sit your ass down. and like then,
yeah,
so when all the things come in, you're like, wow, wow. Oh, well, thanks. And it does. It really does help, and it feels good. So guys, keep it coming. If you're thinking about Marty, let him know because it's definitely necessary when healing up. I remember that definitely.
guys, I I really would not wish this on my worst enemy. To break a leg or ankle. It's just as we were talking earlier. It's puts you. I mean, I had to wait 9 days for the operation. So for
Whew.
9 days, I had a splint, but still the bones were wiggling around because as you're moving, right? And so it's pain. It was not
Mm-hmm.
comfortable for 9 days. Then an operation, which is not trivial, and then
No.
and it took a few days out. It was a few days of unpleasantness after the operation, and I just had my cast again. My cast. The cast was installed. I had to wait 2 weeks after the operation for them to remove the temporary cast, which was plaster, by the way, which is
Mm.
heavy as hell. And so they took the stitches off and put this fiberglass cast on, which is cool. So it weighs a lot less. And
Yeah.
just now, it's been about 4 weeks now, I guess, since the accident, and just now I'm starting to feel better emotionally, physically, because I tell you, when I don't know, it's really weird. I mean, I was pretty active physically, but when that happened for 2 weeks waiting for the operation, it just moving around with crutches, it would sap
Mm-hmm.
your energy for
Mm-hmm.
move around for 30 minutes, and I got to go back to bed and just lay in bed for a couple hours and get the foot up.
Mm-hmm.
So only now am I starting to kind of feel like I can. Even sitting here, I would not have wanted to sit like I'm sitting now. 2 weeks ago, it just would be uncomfortable after
Yeah.
5 minutes of sitting. So it's getting better, but I got to have this cast on for a month 4 weeks. Then I go back and I get the walking boot on. I don't know how long I'm going to have the walking boot, but probably it's typically a few weeks at least before I can get out of that. And then, yeah, and then it's physical therapy, and I'll at that point I'll know how weak my leg is and ankle, and I'm going to get some. I've been researching motorcycle boots. There's there's no guarantees, of course, but I have a pair of nice motorcycle boots that I tried for a while. There's a local rider, Sam, that he always wore them.
Yep.
But man, motorcycle boots are heavy.
Yeah.
There's no
it's tough.
no flexibility. They're really stiff. So I ultimately stopped wearing them, but I'm gonna get a real nice pair of half height motorcycle boots. Something that provides some rigidity around my ankle.
Right.
Just because I'm kind of paranoid about breaking my ankle again. So.
I wonder why, Marty. I wonder why.
I mean, did you get a little extra upper body protection after
yes.
your?
Yes, I did.
See,
right
that's
away.
What happens
right away.
When you get injured. I don't understand why people don't learn from other people's, accidents.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of gear. You can see generally, but I wasn't. I only started doing that after I broke my shoulder 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's why
I started. See, I was already under the impression that this could hurt, so I started wearing gear automatically. I was big into gear from day one, and then I fell on the 16X and scraped my knees up. And I scraped my knees up because that's the only piece of gear I had left behind by mistake. And I was like, really, dummy? I was like, yeah. So I'm like, no, all the gear, all the time. And then I kept riding. And then I did have shoulder pads on when I fell. And ultimately, the way I fell, because the power cut off and I fell straight upside down, the doctor was telling me that it wouldn't have mattered what I had on. Just because my body weight was too much for my shoulder to handle all at once upside down. It couldn't support all of that. So he said when you put your arm down and all the weight came down on the top of your shoulder, it shifted and there was no way you could protect against that. But that didn't stop me from buying an even better racing top with thicker shoulder pads. And now I have a Knox racing gear jacket that I wear, and it's really air. Like that is big holes so the air goes right through it, but I put the highest density foam I can find in the shoulder pads. So just in case.
It's insurance. There's no guarantees no matter what you wear, but in my mind, every little bit helps. And from your fall and my fall, one thing, and I knew this beforehand too, I think a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't realize that slow speed falls are the worst. They are where you are most likely to get injured. Mm-hmm. I've had rib injuries, cracked ribs, I think, because once I was riding on some ice and the wheel just like that, and I just went straight down.
Crazy
on my chest. But if you're riding 20 miles an hour and you fall, you're going to be kind of sliding.
Right. Well, that's what people didn't understand, and I still tell them to this day. I'm like, guys, you guys got to think about the fact. They're like, oh, it's because, how fast were you going to hurt yourself that bad? Yeah. I was like,
and you don't know how to fall. You don't know how to fall.
Yeah. I got that one, and I laugh because I mean, those.
It happens like that. You had no choice. I need to fall this way.
Right. And what's crazy about that when people say it to me, like those of you who know my history, you know that I'm a martial artist for like over 30 years. So I do falls and throws and all kinds of stuff, and I've been doing it for years. So I do know how to fall, but you get no warning when and it's not a cutout. Like I overpowered it and it went beep beep beep. There was no beat. Right. It just went silent and dead instantly. So there is no moment.
Yeah.
you don't even get a moment. It's like I'm riding and then I'm crashed. Like there was no moment, and I'm like, really? So well, if you learn how to fall, I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
When people say that, I say, I hope you never fall, but if you
yeah,
do, then you'll know what I'm talking
right.
about. There's no chance. You don't get a second. So, but again, I'm not so bitter about it that I don't ride, and I've gotten to the point where I'm beyond the trauma that I felt back then. So now it don't bother me. I'm like, whatever's whatever, let's do it. And I can ride. I finally can get back up to 50 miles an hour if I want. But it took a long time. I would get back on the wheel, but I was only riding like 30 miles an hour was I was like, all right, this is fast enough.
Yeah. Oh, pe people don't realize how a traumatic injury, not a sprained wrist, but something like we've
Yeah.
going through, it plays mind games. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for the first week, I was seriously just debating with myself, should I
Mm-hmm.
maybe stop riding? I could get an e-bike. I could still maybe get out in the mountains and still have some fun, but because it's so traumatic, and then I don't want to go through this again. I mean, I'm feeling better
No.
now emotionally, but it's been a tough month up to this point, and I don't
Yeah.
want to do this again. But as
No.
time goes on, you know, if if you guys, and I'm sure someone watching this right now, it's something bad's going to happen to you, statistically. If you're writing EUCs, just don't make any decisions until you feel
Healed.
better,
Yeah, wait
until
till you,
you're healed.
cause there's people that got hurt, sold all their stuff, and then once they heal up,
Yeah,
now they're buying shit again.
yeah.
Like, don't do anything drastic.
No.
Just wait.
So after a couple weeks, I was starting to feel a little better, and by at now, I can't wait to start writing again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're on here. A couple people are saying they're like, so somebody should build Marty a chair that goes off road in 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. And Vibe said, I just saw Roger got him a cool chair, but he got to find out what the top speed is. And then
No,
Vibe
yeah,
said, I was trying to get Begode to get Marty a K6, but I have no clout.
yeah. That's K6. I'm kind of glad I found out that there's a chance I could ride by the tour, and so I maybe won't have to get on some weird, like a K6 or something.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of my wheels that are really comfortable seated, have really good seated riding condition. I think
Yeah.
actually my Sherman Max, which I still
Hmm.
have, has my favorite seat. It's really tall, comfortable. There's no suspension, but I think that's maybe going to be my first wheel I'll be riding, because once I get going, I'm sitting, right? And
Yeah.
should be okay, I would think, unless I have a fall. That's the only thing you have to worry about. If you do have a fall right now, I can run it off, but if my foot's in bad condition, I don't know.
E. Simon said, Marty, look at the Forma motorcycle boots. They have excellent ankle support and are built so you can still walk around in them.
Forma.
Hmm.
Okay.
Try that. We'll
All
try
right.
that, Simon. Thank you.
Yeah, make a note of it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Forma.
Um, Chris Lee says, you don't know how to fall. Yeah, bro. Getting shamed on concrete isn't a fall. It's getting dumped. Yo, listen, getting slammed on concrete, rather. Yeah. Um, the hardest part is getting back on the horse. Yes, it is. Getting back up on a wheel after my fall mentally was the problem, not physically. Um,
Yeah,
it
I yeah, yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have the same issue.
yeah, yeah. Vibe said he's still affected by his worst crash. The worst part of getting hurt while retired is you don't get time off of work. That was the only that
Yeah.
was the only positive. Yeah, well, we talked about that. I mean, that's honestly a good thing. You don't have to go to work, but it's also a
Oh,
bad thing because you don't got to get up and go nowhere other than
yeah.
therapy and back home. So you got to keep pushing yourself.
I still haven't gotten the medical bills yet.
Oh,
Uh,
you
I
saved
have,
on the ambulance though, right?
yeah, I did save in the absence.
When you talked about the ambulance, I was like, I wish I had done that. My ambulance ride was $2,500.
And how much did your insurance cover? They had you covered some of that,
not,
right?
not enough. Not enough. The only thing I can say is I'm glad, I thank everybody who supported me then, and Showtime started a GoFundMe, and I didn't ask, and I wasn't looking for that, but she did, and it helped. So I was happy that took care of some of that stuff. So shouts out to everybody in the community that contributed back then when I got hurt, because it meant a great deal. Because things like that, and there's still, believe it or not, even with that, what I collected, there's still some things outstanding that I just never took care of, because I'm like, you know what are you gonna do? I'll get to it when I get to
Yeah.
it. I'm like, I've given you thousands of dollars. I'll get to it when I get to it.
Well,
Uh,
fortunately, I have really good health insurance through my retirement, and so,
mhm,
but I know I have a like many of us, as I'm sure, I still have a pretty steep deductible that I'm going to have to meet.
mhm.
So I'm sure this thing's going to, at the end of the day, probably still cost me 3 to 4 thousand
Yeah,
out of
yeah, it
pocket.
does. Yeah, somebody just said my EC journey. Oh, what's up, Euro? He said broken leg is about 30,000 depending on your coverage. Yeah,
Yeah,
and usually the coverage covers most of that, but there's still a few
yeah.
thousand you end up coming out of pocket on. So,
Well, like my deductible generally is about 10 I have to pay about 10% of the bill up
well, there
until
there
I
you
match
go.
my deductible.
Yep.
But 10%, for instance, my hospital, my surgery, just the hospital bill was, I think, 17,000 for one
Mm-hmm.
for an outpatient, half a day in the hospital. 17,000. I had to write him a check for 1,700,
Yep. It's
and
crazy.
I don't know what the surgeon bills yet or all this
Mm-mm.
follow-on stuff.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but
Turbo's in the house. Shouts out to Turbo. What's up, buddy? Oh, here you go, Marty. Chris Lee says, I rode home with a broke foot. Then my wife drove me to the ER. If I had been alone, it would have been a self recovery. Keep that in the mindset. Got to self recover in this sport. Look, there's a lot of times when I'm out and something weird happens. You're like, whoop, and you look around like, okay, if that would have gone bad, what would I
yeah.
have done? Because I got to get back. And of course we have our cell phones or whatever nowadays. There's such great communication, but same time you're like, that could have been ugly. every
All right.
every little faux pas or fumble, whatever, is like, oh, that could have been ugly. Just because now that you've been hurt badly, you're like, it can happen. So,
Oh yeah. This happened just by weird. I could have gone on a ride on the riverbed. I could have been much farther away. I just happened to be a few blocks away. I could call my wife, but I have a I do a lot of rides in the mountains. There's no cell phone coverage. There's nothing. But for the last couple of years, I've been carrying a satellite.
a
Um,
sat phone,
I could, not a cell phone, but
a
it's a
sat phone.
Garmin. It's a Garmin InReach,
Okay.
and so I can text. It's got the
Mm.
SOS, so if I really break my leg and I was on a trail in the middle of nowhere, I could get emergency help. But I can also text with anyone I want back and forth. So I think that's important now. You know, I'm really, I haven't had to use it in an emergency situation, but yeah, I think it's important to have something like that.
Yeah, it's scary out there. That's for sure. Turbo, you broke your rip when I broke my rip. I took an Uber to the ER. He took an Uber. They said much cheaper. Yes, that's much cheaper
Yeah.
than an ambulance ride.
But sometimes you don't have a choice, if it's really bad, right? If you had a bone sticking out of your skin, or if you're in an agonizing pain,
Hmm.
you're going to take an ambulance.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I didn't have a choice because I wasn't moving. When I got up, the only thing holding me together was the armored jacket that I had on. Because the armored
Uh,
jacket was holding my shoulder. So
yeah, that's
I was going like this. I couldn't find a comfortable position. No matter where I held my arm, it hurt like
right.
some like it hurt like nobody's business. And I was like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing any. I was like any. I just want to rest. I just want to rest. The pain was just waves of pain.
Uh,
And then they were like, yeah, we can't give you anything in the ambulance because we don't know what's wrong, so we can't just give you stuff. I said, you don't have nothing? I was like, I'll take
I
anything.
know.
You
That's
know?
what's really weird is they can't give you anything for
Mm-mm,
this. So, like,
mm-mm.
I'm thinking, how did they get the jacket off? Was that awful?
Oh, 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 oh,
Uh,
oh,
uh,
Marty, listen,
like,
listen.
and
I'm
what
a,
if if you had a spandex
woo,
cover, one of these tight
uh-uh.
fitting, it
Yeah,
would have.
something that you had to. I would have just cut it off. I would have just cut
Yeah,
it off.
yeah,
But for this, as a matter of fact, they were gonna cut it off. And
yeah.
I could get one arm off, and I was like, nah, I can get one arm off. I'm good. And so I took one arm off, right? And then it hit me. You jackass. Now you got to take the other one out. And that is, man, I'm going to be honest. I'm a tough dude, but I was in tears. I was boo-hooing like a little baby.
Uh,
I was like, I was howling.
yeah.
And,
God.
and they pulled that thing off, and I'm like, to catch my
Oh,
breath alone was like, it was crazy. Yeah. Oh,
why didn't you let
look,
him cut? Why didn't you let him cut it off?
I should have.
At that,
I
uh,
absolutely should have, but I instinctively said, oh, no, I can get it off. Because I'm so used to being able to do stuff. I'm not used to not to being able to say, no, I can't do that. And I was like, I can get this off. And then
yeah.
right after, like I said, right after the first arm came out, it hit me. You're an idiot. Like, because this is gonna hurt like nobody's business, and it truly did. Chris Lee
Uh,
said he said Black Cobra gonna get some PTSD on his podcast. Yo, let me tell you, I truly got PTSD. I mean, I've been in the war zone. I already got PTSD from previous things, but I got a little more from that. Let me tell you, because that was, it's one of those things. That's when you know how weighted this is that if I think about the totality of my whole life, this stands out.
stands out.
This stands
Uh,
out. And
sounds awful.
like I said, I've been shipping home dead bodies and everything from the military. I've done a lot of things, and pain wise, that was right up there. Even martial arts. I've done broken some things and done things that most people will be like, I ain't doing that. But this still, it was right up there. It was right up there.
I'm sorry to bring up those bad memories, man. I had
Oh,
when I was wearing I've been wearing Skechers work boots, steel-toed work boots. So
mm.
they had to take that off, which I was,
Ooh.
but it wasn't nothing like what yours.
Yeah,
Fortunately, I made
but
sure.
they couldn't cut
Yeah,
that off you though.
no, you can't cut the
You
shoe
can't cut
off,
that off.
right? Oh,
Oh,
but
speaking of that, check out these shoes I got. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Temu, but
no.
Temu is an app and a website that's like
Oh yeah,
Wish,
yeah, I
like
am right.
Wish.
Timu.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So my wife got me on this this thing, and my wife and my daughters, and it's terrible because I'm bad. I'm a shopaholic. I'll start clicking, and sure enough, the first time you go on there, 90% off. You can get blah 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 blah. So I bought a few things, right? I bought these shoes, right? These
Okay.
Now they look really cool. I like
For
them.
five for 5.95, right?
No, they actually were like $20 because
Okay.
they're steel toe.
Oh, so
You
you're gonna
wouldn't
tell us the
you
qual you're gonna tell us the quality now, right?
listen, they're steel toe and they're made to that you could step on nails. The sole is made that it's impenetrable to nails and stuff. So they're
Okay.
steel toe, indestructible shoe. This thing and it's comfortable to ride in. But
Oh,
no ankle support for you though, Marty.
right.
There's not enough ankle
But
support here for you. But
yeah,
this
yeah.
I was
So
actually I was pleasantly surprised at this shoe. And
oh, I
somebody
thought you were gonna give us a bad story, but
no,
so
nope.
that's okay then.
Yeah, so somebody on the ride in Worcester, somebody said to me, they said, "Hey, oh, those things are gonna shred the first time you fall in them." I said, "You want to bet? Touch them." And he goes, "Is that steel toe?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Holy shit! I didn't think that was steel toe." I'm like, "Yep, indestructible shoe. I'm happy with it." But I
Cool.
still want something to hold my ankles too after thinking of yours.
Yeah, I wonder how many people we've given seven second thoughts about riding EUCs tonight. You're talking about crying like a baby, getting out of your jacket. Uh,
Oh God.
but uh, no one should fool themselves into thinking they they can't get hurt. I mean, it
Yeah.
took me. I fractured my shoulder 4 years ago, but that was a fracture, and I didn't actually go to the doctor until a month later. But
Yeah.
but basically, 7 years, this is the first time
Hmm.
I had what I would call a serious uh, health problem, and I don't know. I tend to think the longer we ride, everyone rides. Eventually, the
You're
Reaper's going
gonna.
to come for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at it that way too. I'm like, but I'm hopeful because I'm thinking the Reaper already got me, so I'm hoping
Yeah,
I'm good.
you and me both. I'm
Because
thinking
listen.
that there's no way I'm going to break an ankle again. I mean, that couldn't possibly happen.
Well, let me tell you, there is a chance that you could do anything. You just never know. But um,
Got to live life.
I guess I would have to tell people that even with these injuries that we're talking about and the trauma, it doesn't matter. These wheels have added so much to my life as
Uh,
far as
it's been,
joys,
yeah.
the peace, the joy, the tranquility, the sheer excitement, the thrill, there's just so much added to
Oh,
my
yeah.
life by these wheels that it still overshadows the negative that I've felt, even though, like I said, worst injury I've ever had. And honestly, Marty, I was like you for many years. I was like, oh, I've never broken a bone. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how that feels. I've never broken a bone. And then, then through karate, I broke a couple. I'm like, all right. And then, now, and then the shoulder, and I was like, well, can't say that shit anymore. I
Yeah.
broke, I broke some bones for real.
But
But
you're right. Just riding EUCs to me is such a magical experience. It's changed my life. The last 7 years, it's been so much of my life. And every time I'm out, for me, riding in the mountains, and it's such a magical thing that I'm just out in nature. And well,
yeah,
I don't have to tell everyone watching this how what magical experience it is to
mm,
ride. It's just so unique. No other There's no other device on the planet that
mm,
gives us what we have. That
mm,
when we're riding, our hands are free and the wheel becomes totally one with you. movement of your body affects how the wheel,
Yes.
the how the machine works. So
Ah,
magical.
it and it
Uh,
it truly does give you just that. Like I tell people, I'm like I find myself dancing on the wheel because it's just a flow, and I'm side to side, and it's such a great feeling that I can't get that on a bicycle, can't get that on a motorcycle, can't get that on a one wheel because it's not fast enough. I can't get that on any other device. The same exact feeling. Some come close, the one wheel comes close, but it's just not as free. To me, I feel like this is, like you said, an extension of my body. And I become one with it, and I'm just riding and flowing, and I can't even explain it. I find myself smiling sometimes, and I have to go, oh, okay. Like for no damn reason, just smiling, just enjoying myself, so um it is what it is. So I just wanted to make sure you were reminded of that, Marty. I didn't want you to be, you know, I remember how it was going to therapy, going damn, and you're
oh
only
yeah, yeah,
a month in, so
I
I know
know.
you got a ways to go, but hang in there, buddy, and keep your head up and keep yourself smiling. And remember, the good thing is you got like a million videos to watch.
Actually, one of the terabytes of video that I want to get to soon. Actually, I created a whole video sequence for the Amped Games last year. I never,
Yeah.
I never saw.
You
I have
never released
three
it?
days, 3 days of everything. I have riding with you. I
Yeah.
have the riding with the Thunderdome,
Yeah.
where
Oh man.
I'm riding with you, and you say, "Let's go together." So you go in front of me. Of course, you're like, oh, you're on jumping at that point. So I couldn't keep up with you because I didn't have your confidence, and you're just you left me behind in the dust. But so you're in the video for a little bit before you disappear as a little dot in the distance.
Well, I hope you get that video edited and release that like really soon, because you
Yeah,
know
yeah. It'd be a
it's
little
one
bit
of
of
those things.
advertisement for the
Yeah,
upcoming Afghans too.
and
Yeah.
it'll help everybody to those that are going to relive it, and those that are not, maybe it may give them the push they need, but also just to share, man. Like me, it's nostalgic for me. I really want to see that ride.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we had such a good time there. That was so good. So good. I remember all the things that we did out there, and I still can't believe. I can't wait to get out. Not the rail yard, of course, but to get
Right,
out to
right,
the Thunderdome again. But to get to the other trails at the Thunderdome there.
right.
That's
That
what I
other
want to
people
get
were
to.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm still deciding whether I'm bringing my Sherman S or my Commander Pro. Because the Commander Pro
Why?
is what I want to bring, but because it's a little bit longer, a little bit more
I see.
powerful,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
a little bit longer, and the seat is a little bit better on the Commander Pro. The seat I made is a little bit better than
Okay.
the one that I have on but the Sherman S looks really good.
Uh, I bet I don't know. I wonder if is so. Okay, is Commander Pro, in your opinion, maybe a little tougher since it's got unibody? It's got solid one size panels.
um,
It's not split. I don't know.
I know. Did you just see the video earlier today from um, David? Um, somebody Sherman S split in half while they were riding. It just split in half.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did see that. Just I didn't know it was a Sherman S though.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. At least that's what the thing said, I think. And I was like, oof. But honestly, I really, really, really like both wheels. The Sherman S, I love how it's designed with the body and everything. It's like, to me, the best overall, like, looking and feeling wheel. But then the Commander Pro has a little, higher voltage, a little more power.
Yeah.
A little bit
And I bet the suspension might be better for the trails because it's a stiffer
probably.
suspension, right?
Probably. I haven't actually taken the Commander Pro on trails yet.
Oh,
Haven't had
well,
time to, but I'm definitely going to. But I'm just deciding. Also, I was thinking, if something happens to my wheel while I'm out at Amped, do I want something bad to happen to the Commander Pro or the Sherman S? Like,
come
I
on.
just
Let's think a little more positive, okay?
it's hard. It's hard. Like no, well, not just out there though, Marty, but also when I shipped the Master. Now, last year the Master was brand new at the time of the Amp games, and I brought
Right.
my Master out there. Everybody, oh, let me see, let me see. Well, shipping it back home, the box got damaged and dinged up. My charger got dented. And there was some damage to the wheel, and I was like, I don't think I want to ship it. So I'm worried. But this year, Linda, a friend of mine here, she's driving, so I'm gonna be able to put my wheel in the car with
Oh,
her. So
okay.
now that I think about it, that's a no brainer. So I'm all set with that.
All
So
right.
I don't
Good.
know. I don't know. I don't know. I know that the Commander Pro would be more comfortable for the rides. Um, and I think they'll both be good for the suspension on the trails and stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
But now I don't have experience on the S, but from everyone who tells me it's a more comfy ride, so I think the Commander Pro would be better for the trails.
Yeah.
You want a stiffer suspension for trails generally.
Mm.
Some
We'll see.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know. You say that, but they're both cushy. I honestly I feel both wheels
Okay.
are cushy. I
Really?
feel comfortable. Yeah.
Well, that's
I
interesting.
yeah, I
Okay.
do I do feel a little more cush on the Sherman S. But I'll be honest, I have not tweaked them to where they need to be anyway. Like I feel like I need to turn them all one way, feel it, and then start turning it incrementally and feel it and feel it and feel it till I really get where I want. For the most part, I've left them where they were when I got them. I've only made little adjustment just to try to see, and I haven't really noticed a big difference. So I'm like, I think I need to make some adjustments to
Yeah.
feel the
You
difference.
need you need to experiment. Now
Yeah.
look. I'm sitting here. I can't do anything. I can't ride. And you can ride. You can do all this, but you're being lazy and you're not playing around with these machines.
Thanks a
Get
lot,
out there
Marty.
and start using them and get them tweaked just right.
Well, I can tell you that after the rally, then I'm gonna have the days off for Amped. So I'll get to do a lot of, at the rally, I'll be doing a whole lot of hustling, trying to get, because the unfortunate thing for me is that the rally, I have a lot less people. I really, it's a lot less people helping. I need a lot more volunteers to help, and I don't have that. So I end up doing so much of it by myself and running around and
So
running
you
around.
so you probably won't do much riding, really.
No,
I
no,
mean,
I really
yeah.
won't. I definitely ain't racing. I stopped doing that the last two rallies because it's too much work for me running around, doing everything. And then, I do have helpers, people help, but it's just most of it is me. And then, by the time it's done, I'm like, I didn't really get to ride much. I was happy because everybody else has a good time, and that's what I want. But I want to ride, so that's why at Amped I took an extra day. I'm like, if I don't ride during Amped, the day after Amped, I will be riding.
Right.
So I'm staying. I will be riding. So that's the plan.
Hope it won't be raining.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll be riding anyway.
Even the rain? Okay. Okay. Good.
Yep. Oh, you Stride's in the house. What's up, Stride? he says hi, Marty. He's like
Hi.
late
I
live.
met him for the first time at so that's what's great about these events, guys. Any of you guys who haven't gone to these, is you get to meet a lot of people. I met
Mm-hmm.
Berwin for the first time at Amped,
Mm-hmm.
personally. We talked before, but I met you Stride at ABS last year, right after we took out Roger.
It's you, Stride. Stride, the Roger assassin.
Yeah.
Yo,
Some of us will never let him live that down.
No,
So,
no, because we were there and we were all like,
yeah.
"Oh shit!" Stride's a good dude. Jediah, I really wish that what's his name there? Oh my god, now I just forgot his name instantly. The one who brought him out there. Holy crap. I just forgot his name instantly. With the long hair that just moved away, wears white all the time. He does drone stuff. You Stride, who was it that brought you out there? I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'm old. Look, it just hit me again. Zen Lee. There we go. Thank you, Roger.
Oh, Zen.
Zen. So you Stride's a good guy. It's just a shame that Zen Lee paid him to take out Roger. That's what everybody said. They said he paid him. I was like, no, he didn't. That's messed up. Yeah. I was like, what? Because Roger, in case you guys didn't know, I know you know. I know all of you know, but Roger was the front runner for that race. He was definitely the guy to beat. Still the fastest time on that track, and we just knew that was going to be a hell of a race. And I can't tell you how my gut was turning with excitement because I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." And then you Stride took him out, and I was like, "What happened?" Oh, you Stride said, "Do you believe what you see or what we tell you?" Yo, Stride, man. Look, if I didn't know you already, I might have believed what they were saying.
He was riding one of the most awesome wheels, though. I mean,
oh my god, I couldn't believe. That was the problem. Like, what is he riding?
They changed all the rules because of that.
I was like, oh my god, that wheel can't keep up, and I was like. And he said as long as he could get ahead, he could probably hang in there. But no. Vibe said I only believe what I edit. Oh man. So I can tell you, man, this has been a blast. I knew it would be. You just made my night. That was one of the funniest things afterwards because people were texting.
It was funny. Yeah.
Well, because people were texting me. They're like, did he really get paid to take him out? I was like, come on, guys. Like, come on.
That's great. Rumors.
Yes. They were like, I swear to God, we saw that. It looked like he
I saw Zen handing him something in his hand.
Zen gave him an envelope right before the race.
Yeah.
I don't know what was in it, but he gave him. Was that a baton he handed him? He said, stick this in his wheel. I don't know. Oh man, okay, that's a problem. So Roger said I started some rumors. Yeah, I believe you did, Roger. I believe you did. I was just glad you weren't hurt, buddy.
Roger,
you Stride says Zen Lee ended up on the podium. Mission accomplished.
Oh, wow. That's true. Somehow he always manages to get on the podium. I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yo, that's funny. It's actually true, but that is funny. Oh, Yo, Zen Lee in the back with his newly installed kill switch. Oh, you think he cut the wheel out from the sideline? He said, he waited right when he got in front of Roger and he hit the button.
So if you're ever around Zen Lee, never leave your equipment unattended.
It might have some suspicious beeping. What's that? Why is my wheel making that noise? No, that's messed up. That's messed up. Zen, we're sorry. Oh, yo, EUC Vibe said you are now in the Zen zone. Oh, we're bad, guys. We're bad. That's so messed up. But we'll be all right.
Let's go.
Hey, so I just got a notification from my phone. I'm down to like 5%
Okay.
battery. So I'm doing this on my phone.
Yeah. So all right.
Let's see, what time? Oh, it's 12:30 your time, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You better go to
Go to sleep. I know.
yeah.
Ustri said the fuse blew, so you got me thinking. He said the fuse did blow. Did it blow or was it cut? Anyway, didn't you say that Zen did some work on your wheel stride? All right, enough. Oh God. All right. Well, thank you, Marty. I appreciate you coming through, brother. I really wanted to talk to you. I wanted to commiserate a little bit.
No, I appreciate you reaching out, and feeling much better, and you know where I'm at emotionally and everything. But
yeah,
hopefully I'll see you anyway in November. It's going to go by like that time.
Yes, right? It will, and we'll talk again. You know, I'm going to continue to do live streams tonight. I didn't get a chance to update. I mean, I posted a couple of things, but I got some flags, some signs. I already saw the batons for jousting. I got some cool stuff in for the Wheel Life Rally. So for those of you who are going to that, I'll see you at that. And Marty, we'll talk again soon. And I'm sure we'll do something else together. Maybe we'll jump on with Duff again.
Duff, yeah. Gotta get Duff.
He's the one we're missing. We'll talk to him later. Have a good night, Marty.
All right.